It's almost that special time of the year, October 31st, Halloween. I know a bunch of you guys don't really celebrate that, but here in the US we do, and oh boy do we love it. And to help celebrate that special time of the year, we're going to be doing yet another spooky fashion contest. The last one was focused on the dinosaur armor, but this time we're going to be focusing on the mask that we get for the Festival of the Lost. All of these sets were provided to me by my Discord community, and if you want to participate in the next fashion contest I will be having this weekend, go ahead and click on that link down below. If you do end up enjoying this video, go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe if you like Destiny 2 fashion, and if you guys want to skip around in the video, there will be skip links below. But now let's go ahead and get started. So this first one is going to be from Calm, and he decided to cosplay as Gaul, and dare I say he did a wonderful job. I also like how functional he is, considering that he decided to use the Dune Marcher's exotic with that hip waiter ornament from the Eververse store. But now let's take a look and see what the rest of his armor is. Of course, he's wearing that Dominus Skull mask. And for his arms and his chest, he has on the Forbidden Visage plate and gauntlets. That set is from the Eververse store. It's the one that's based off of the Izanagi's Burden. For his mark, he has on the Legatus mark, which is from the Season 13 Season Pass. For his shaders, he has on Monochromatic and Horizon Blush. Monochromatic you get from Bright Ingrams, and Horizon's Blush you get from the Season 12 Season Pass. You know, this set makes me really wish that Bungie had made a chest plate that had those giant wing things that Gaul had behind him. It would have been so cool to mix and match armor sets with something like that. But anyway, really great job, Calm, as always. But now let's go ahead and move over to Dark Mustang, who decided to use the Pyramid Mask. So I thought that this one was pretty interesting. In the world where everybody's trying to recreate Pyramid Head right now, by the way, if you want to see a Pyramid Head hunter, I'll be popping up a picture right here and leaving a link down below if you want to check that out. But yeah, in a world filled with pyramid heads, I thought it was really interesting that he just decided to go with the flow and just put on every single pointy piece of armor that he can possibly find. I thought that the shoulders really complement that head, and also the legs have this triangle plate on the side of them, and that also works out very well. And of course, he has to be spooky and edgy, which the pyramids are. Also, he decided to use the Midnight Exigent shader on the Moonfang grips, and I thought that those two were a really good combination, considering it shows off the scratches on the shoulders very well, and also the shader itself really matches with the pyramid mask. So yeah, solid choice there, but now let's go ahead and go over the rest of his armor. So his arms are the Moonfang X7 grips, those come from the Prophecy Dungeon. His chest is the Road Complex AA1, which I believe is still a random drop. His legs come from the Season 11 Season Pass, and those are the Siegebreak Strides. His cloak is the Coronation Cloak, and I believe that one is still a random drop as well. So for that Midnight Exigent shader that I was talking about earlier, that came from a Season 10 quest and is currently no longer available. For the shader on his cloak, which is the Abyssinian Gold, that comes from Eververse's rotating inventory. So all of that comes together to make a very pointy boy. Really great job, Dark Mustang. I was really impressed by this one. So next up we have a regular here on the channel. His name is Non-Suitable for Work, and he decided to grace us with yet another pyramid-headed guardian, although I believe this one is actually trying to be the pyramid head from Silent Hill. So there's no need for my warlock friends to be jealous of that hunter that I showed off earlier, because yes, you can also be pyramid head. You know, this one just made me realize how creative all of you guys are. I've seen a ton of pyramid head ones, and a lot of them don't look exactly the same. A lot of them use the same armor pieces here and there, but there are just so many ways to recreate pyramid head in this game. It's kind of crazy. Also, there's just a really good attention to detail on this one, like for example, the wraps around the arms match the wraps around the robes. The giant pointy bond really goes with the whole theme, and also just a really good choice on the colors here. And as you can see right here, he's actually using a good amount of shaders to create this look. At first I thought it was like one whole shader, but no, it's a lot of different ones. So one of them is Crucible Carmine, which you got from dismantling Crucible weapons or just Crucible armor pieces during Season 7. The other one is Horizon's Blush, which came from the Season 12 Season Pass. On his legs, he has on the Amethyst Veil shader, which comes from the Eververse rotating inventory. And again, on his bond, he has on that Crucible Carmine. Now let's talk armor pieces. For his gloves, he has on the Gloves of Exile, which were the old Trials set. For his chest, he has on the Scorn Baron robes, which are a random drop. For his legs, he has on the Holdfast boots, which used to be an old Season 11 drop, but now it's just a random drop from anywhere. And for his bond, he has on the Tangled Web bond, which is also just a random drop. A lot of the stuff like the Tangled Web stuff and the Scorn Baron robes might be going away once Forsaken is vaulted, so hopefully you get some of this stuff to drop for you pretty soon, so that way you can recreate very edgy warlocks like this. Alright, thank you very much, Chaos, for gracing us with another one of your fashion sets, and now we're going to move on to a Vex Titan that's made by Hey It's Mango. I also just realized that I did pick Mango. I really don't look at names whenever I pick fashion, so I'm as surprised as you are whenever I announce the winners. And it also brings up a topic that you should join the Discord server, like legitimately, because all of these people come from there and they're always around the fashion advice channel giving people advice. So if you want to learn from someone, learn from these guys. Don't really wait for my advice. But anyway, Mango brings us a very Vexy looking Titan, and well, he did a great job on this. And you know what, Mango? I saw a lot of Vex Guardians out there, but yours made me laugh a little bit because it really reminds me of that one meme where it's like, Mom said it's my turn to play on the Xbox, and he really does look like just a tiny Vex Guardian waiting for his turn to play video games. Okay, so here is Mango's gear. For all of his set, he is rocking that 44 steel shader, which you get from Bright Engrams. For his armor set, he has on the Technosaurus claws, which of course you guys know come from the Eververse store during the Festival of the Lost event. For his chest, he has on the Phenotype Plasticity plate from the Season 8 Season Pass. For his legs, he has on the Lightkin Greaves, which come from Season 14 activities. And lastly, for his mark, he has the Light of the Great Prism, which is from the Vault of Glass Raid. And like I said before, there were plenty of Vex Guardians out there, but I decided to pick Mango's just because it did have a little bit of extra charm in there, and it did make me chuckle because it reminded me of that meme. Not only that, but the 44 steel was actually a really good color match for the Goblin mask. All you need to do from here, Mango, is just strap on a Vex Mythoclast and just go crazy on people in the Crucible. Next up, we have one that was kind of weird and I didn't really expect to see. We found an Eris Morn cosplay. And one of the biggest reasons that I decided to go with this hunter is because of your screenshots. You did a wonderful job taking these pictures, man. And if you didn't know, because some of you probably won't because of her appearance, but Eris Morn is actually a hunter. I know that she's kind of creepy and acts like a warlock, but she's definitely a hunter, and you can kind of tell in her character design if you kind of look into it a little bit more. Like, you can actually see that she's still wearing her cloak, but yeah, her chest piece is definitely like really baggy and goes over her pants. That's why it kind of makes it look like robes a little bit. And even though we really don't have like Eris Morn armor in the game, this is pretty damn close, because as you can see there in the Lucky Raspberry chest plate, like you can still see like the little dots that Eris Morn has on her chest, and the Moonfang X7 grips are the closest you're going to get to some like pointy shoulder pads that like match her shoulder pads a little bit. Also, I'm not gonna lie, the face gives me like blow up doll vibes just because she's like, I don't know, just like dead stare with her mouth open. It's a little bit weird. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this armor. So for her shader, she has on oiled gunmetal on her arms. This comes from the Eververse rotating inventory. For the chest plate and the legs, they have on the Iron Wolf shader, which came from like old Iron Banner during like year 1 and year 2. So the Moonfang X7 grips come from the Prophecy Dungeon. The Lucky Raspberry is a random drop exotic. The Meridian Constellation leg guards come from the current Season of the Lost Season Pass. And the Intrepid Discovery cloak comes from the Eververse store. And all of that comes together wonderfully to create that Eris Morn cosplay. And for this one specifically, if you guys want to like join up on my Discord server and like put a bunch of your Eris Morn cosplays in there, I would honestly like to see if anybody can get even closer than this. I ask because I really don't think you can get much closer than this. Maybe I would switch out the legs, but I can't really think of any other armor pieces that come closer. So yeah, that's my personal challenge to you guys today. But anyway, thank you very much, Cow, for the submission. And now let's go ahead and move on to Lord of the Unknown and his Jade Rabbit Warlock. And look at this fancy little man with his like fancy robes. By the way, those Blood Lineage robes are a must get. So grab those before the Festival of the Lost ends. But this one is very deceiving because at first glance it looks like he's using only one shader and basically a whole entire armor set. But whenever I pull up his armor, you can see that he's using a different set of armor for each part of his body. And not only that, he takes it a step further, but he doesn't use the same shader whatsoever. And you can see what I mean by it was a little bit deceiving at first, because to me it looked like it was a whole set, minus the bond because I knew what the bond was. But everything else I thought was the blood lineage stuff, but it wasn't. So this one is going to be a mouthful. So for his shaders, he has the Conflagrate. I don't know how to say that, but that one comes from the Season 14 Season Pass. The New Monarchy Succession, which I haven't seen in a very long time. That comes from ranking up with the New Monarchy. And for his legs, he has on the Carbon Blood shader, and that one just comes from the rotating Eververse inventory. And lastly, we have the Sunrise Warrior, and that one just comes from Bright Engrams. And as for the armor, he has on the Wrathtrail gloves, the Blood Lineage robes, the Nemean boots, and the Cyceratops bond. Everything comes from the Eververse store. And with all of that being said, the fact that he has a different piece of armor for each part of his body, and he's also mixing and matching every single shader, and the fact that it looks like a whole entire set, I think he's earned the seal of approval for this video. Lord of the Unknown, you did a fantastic job, and I hope to see more from you in the future. And as for the rest of you still here, go ahead and leave me a comment down below whether or not you disagree or agree with my decision on giving Lord of the Unknown the seal of approval this week. Let me know which Guardian you thought deserved it. And since you're already down there, go ahead and leave me a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Destiny 2 fashion. So this next weekend, the fashion contest will be just a regular spooky fashion contest. I just want you to create something spooky with whatever armor you have available to you. There's nothing else to that. So if you want to participate in that, go ahead and click on the link down below to join my Discord server. Alright, so the next two videos are going to be kind of fun, but the third video from now is going to be one of the best that I have released in a while, in my opinion. I'm going to be doing a fashion showcase, but this one's a little bit special, and that's the only thing I'll leave you with, so make sure you do subscribe. But for now, Guardians, go ahead and click on any of the two videos that are popping up in the end card now. If not, that's okay too. I will see you in the next video, but for now, stay beautiful.